All right. Good morning, Chair, board members, and staff. Everyone speaking is present and accounted for. The lobby is open and recording has begun.
Great. Thank you, Dustin. My screen shows somebody still waiting to be admitted in the lobby.
Working on that now.
Okay. Well, let's just give them 1 second. Everyone just stand by for 1 second. And
Jason, can you turn your camera off? Thank you.
Dustin, let me know if you think we should just go or if we're going to figure that out.
I think we can go ahead. I made contact Jim and have re-sign in.
Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to call to order the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board meeting for Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. I'm David Postman, the board chair. With me today are members Russ Hauge and Ollie Garrett. Our first order of business is approval of the meeting minutes from the August 4th, 2021 board meeting. Is there a motion for approval?
I move approval of the August 4th board meeting minutes.
And I will second.
And those are approved. Thank you both. We will now move to alcohol-related rulemaking timelines from Audrey Vasek, the Policy and Rules Coordinator on the alcohol side. Ms. Vasek.
Good morning, and thank you, Chair Postman, board members Garrett and Hauge. I have a few brief updates today on the alcohol rulemaking timelines. For the rule project to implement 2021 legislation, House Bill 1480 related to the COVID-19 alcohol allowances, a virtual listen and learn session was held a couple weeks ago on August 5th on the alcohol to go endorsement portion of the draft rules. At a peak, there were around 60 people in attendance. The 2.5-hour recording of the event is now available on the rulemaking webpage. I am currently working to compile the public feedback we received into a comment table and analyzing it by theme. The internal rule drafting work group will meet next week to review the feedback and comments received and consider changes to the conceptual draft rules. We are also planning a second listen and learn session on the portion of the rules related to outdoor alcohol service areas and food service menu requirements. An announcement about that listen and learn session was sent out yesterday through GovDelivery, and it will be held on September 2nd from 1 to 4 p.m. More information about how to participate is also available on the LCB rulemaking webpage. We are currently on track to have a CR 102 or rule proposal package ready for the board to consider in late September. On the horizon, I'm also beginning to plan for a new rulemaking project related to axe throwing at liquor license premises. So for background, axe throwing has become increasingly popular as an activity that liquor licensed businesses would like to offer to their customers. Beginning around 2018, the licensing division started receiving applications from businesses that wanted to add axe throwing. In April 2021, the board approved a settlement agreement allowing a specific axe throwing business to have a liquor license for 1 year with certain parameters in place, including a detailed safety plan. Since axe throwing is at liquor license premises is considered a high-risk activity with implications for public safety, rulemaking may be needed to mitigate safety concerns at liquor license premises that are allowed to have axe throwing. So I've held a preliminary meeting with licensing division staff to begin planning for this project, and a kickoff meeting with a larger rule project team, including staff from multiple agency divisions, is scheduled for early September. I anticipate bringing a CR 101 for the board to consider in late September or early October. So that concludes my updates for today, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
None for me today. I see none. Okay, thank you, Ms. Vasek.
Thank you.
We'll move to the cannabis side of the shop now. Jeff Kildall, the Policy and Rules Coordinator for rulemaking and timelines.
Good morning, Chair Postman and board members Garrett and Hauge. Cannabis rules update for August 18th, 2021. Here's a brief update on cannabis rules in progress today. Starting with the cannabis quality control rules, we have finalized the contract for the small business economic impact statement and are holding a kickoff meeting with the vendor tomorrow, August 19th. And with respect to the criminal history background check redesign, no comments have been received to date on the CR 102 we brought to you for approval on July 7th. The public hearing is scheduled for today's board meeting. I will describe the project timeline and background when we move to that agenda item. This concludes my update for today. May I answer any questions?
No, not today. Thank you. So why don't we move to the public hearing, and we will open the public hearing on criminal history background checks. That's WAC 314-55040. Mr. Kildall.
Thank you, Chair Postman. The rule proposal before you today for public hearing concerns changes to current rules that frame the standards and thresholds for criminal history background checks for marijuana cannabis licensees. By way of background, Initiative 502, or I-502, established a legal framework for the board to review the criminal history of marijuana license applicants, along with broad rulemaking authority to create rules related to criminal history background check standards. The initial rules concerning this subject were initially established in late 2013, and the most recent revision occurred in early 2016. This proposal moves toward creation of socially equitable conditions for individuals who have been disproportionately impacted by marijuana criminalization by revising and more fully describing the background check threshold review process for cannabis license applicants and renewing licensees. Among other things, it redesigns the existing criminal history point system that may have created barriers to entry in the legal cannabis market. The CR 102 was approved and filed on July 7th. Since then, no comments have been received. May I answer any questions?
I don't see any. Why don't we see if we have one person signed up to testify. Dustin, have we been able to?
Good morning, Chair. Thank you. It looks like Jim is having some connectivity issues. We're having trouble getting him through. I did send him a note to ask him to try to log off and log back on.
Okay.
So if we want to put the hearing on hold and move to the next item, see if we can get him, if he can hear us. Jim, if you can log off and then log back on, we can try and come back to you.
Great. Yeah, why don't we do that? We're just going to keep the public hearing open and set that to the end of the agenda for now. And Dustin, let me know when we hear from Jim McCrae.
Of course.
And then that moves us to the general public comment period of the meeting. This is the opportunity for any member of the public to address the board for 4 minutes. You'll get a warning from Dustin when you have 30 seconds left. He will try to interject, so don't be offended by that, and then you'll be asked to wrap up. And it'll just take us a second sometimes to get you on the screen, so we will all be patient. And the one person we have signed up here, according to my list, is Mitzi Vaughn.
Chair Postman, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
See you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair Postman, board members, Garrett and Haugie. As you said, my name is Mitzi Vaughn. I'm a shareholder at Cartuttle Campbell. This isn't quite as interesting as axe throwing, which I'm glad I got to hear a discussion about. But on August 4th, MFuse, an LCB licensed cannabis processor, transmitted what it termed an official statement to an unknown number of cannabis retailers regarding the manufacture of Delta 8 and 9 THC from hemp-derived CBD. The email that transmitted the official statement named Evergreen Herbal a licensed cannabis processor as one of 20 processors that use, this is their language, illegal processes to convert hemp-derived CBD to THC and then use that to manufacture vape cartridges. MFUS also stated that, this is a quote, "If you are carrying any carts from the listed brands, the LCB has asked that you immediately destroy that inventory or return it if at all possible." Evergreen Herbal does not manufacture its products with hemp-derived CBD converted into Delta 8 or 9 or anything else. And so I would like to ask if the LCB, I would like the LCB to confirm or deny that they ordered a recall to ask retailers or asked retailers to destroy or return any Evergreen Herbal products.
Yeah, I can't. The board has not. The agency has not. There's been no such order to one order 20 processors. We were made aware of this email. I believe it was late last week. I've checked with staff throughout the agency, and nobody has done anything like this on behalf of the LCB.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you for bringing the question to us. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Okay, we will. There's Dustin again for an update.
Yeah, it looks like we do have Jim McCray
Great.
back online. I just gave him permissions to unmute and turn camera on if he's able, so he should be ready to go to finish up the public hearing.
Great. So we're going to return to the part of the agenda for a public hearing on WAC 314-55040, the criminal history background checks. Mr. McCray, are you with us? Can't hear you yet if you are. We'll just pause here for a minute. Mr. McCray is the one person signed up for the public hearing, and we want to make sure we give him every opportunity to testify today. If we're unable to do this, we will have to take that testimony in a written form, I'm afraid. Yeah, and we also, of course, could invite Mr. McCray to address the board anytime under general comments, if he prefers that, but it would be good if he had some remarks. Since Mr. Kildall mentioned nobody has provided comment yet, if there is any, I would request Mr. McCray to send that to us in writing, and we can make that part of the official record. So Dustin, if you could follow up at least and make sure that he's aware of that. Sorry, we're not able to make this work today, but we'll figure out what happened to and maybe be able to give some guidance for next time. With that, we'll move. That's it for our business on the agenda. I'll just pause for a second to see if either of my fellow board members have anything they'd like to report or add today before we adjourn. Seeing none, then that does it, and appreciate all of your attendance today, and we will adjourn the Liquor and Cannabis Board meeting for Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. Thank you.